So what the girls find attractive, obviously the first thing that she's going to see is the way that you look. She's just going to take one look at you and decide instantly whether she finds you attractive or not. This is why it's important to present yourself as good as you possibly can. That means working on your health and fitness. Now that's going to make a big difference to the way that a girl perceives you. That split-second decision that she's going to make is going to make the difference as to whether or not she's even going to continue talking to you. You've then got other factors that are going to come into it, like she might be married, she might be seeing someone, she might be unavailable at the moment because she's recently split up with someone. So there's all sorts of other things that can spoil your chances. But if she's not attracted to you, nothing else is gonna make her want to see you again. It doesn't really matter at that point how confident you are. It doesn't matter how funny you are. It doesn't even matter whether you've got a mansion and loads of money. She's not going to see any of that the first time you ever see each other. So it's a good idea to prioritise your own health and fitness and keep yourself in the best shape you can. Make sure that you dress the same way that you would if you were going on a date with a girl, so that the first impression a girl gets when she sees you is a good impression. You instantly look like the kind of guy that she'd be happy to introduce to her friends or her family. Even though it's not at that stage, at that point, this all comes into the way she perceives you subconsciously. And a lot of that comes down to that initial split-second reaction that she has when you approach her. So these are things that you can work on. You know, if you're not going to the gym, or if you're eating a bad diet which has got you overweight and out of shape, well, you can fix those things. It takes hard work and discipline, and that's why being in shape and looking after yourself is a big plus when you're meeting girls, because they can see that you're prepared to put the effort in and you're taking pride in the way you present yourself. These are all big pluses. Now, all of these things are the very first stages of attraction. These are the things that are going to help you getting girls' numbers and having the girl interested enough in you to want to actually see you again. Especially if she's a very attractive girl, you're not the only guy that wants to take her out on a date. The better looking the girl is, obviously the more options she's got. Although these initial things, the way you look, the way you present yourself, they're the things that are going to spark that initial attraction. But then there's a lot more comes into it once you start meeting the girl and you start seeing each other. That's when she's going to be looking at your lifestyle, your goals. What do you do with your time? What are you doing on a day-to-day basis? What are your priorities in your life? She's going to be looking for signs of success. Are there any actual signs of successes that you've already achieved? Most girls who have got high value in the dating world, they are going to have standards when they know that they can meet a guy that they like and that they get on with and who ticks all the boxes in terms of character and personality and attraction, but he's also got his life in order and he provides himself with all the things that he wants and all the things that he needs. So you've got to look at yourself in terms of, even if you tick those initial boxes of attraction, so you look good, you've got a good sense of humour, a good personality, a good vibe, and generally you find that girls are attracted to you. You know, maybe you're not having any issues getting numbers, but the issues are coming up as you get to know each other, and you might be struggling to understand what's gone wrong. And very often it's because there's a lot more goes into what a girl is attracted to And if you've been meeting her and she's got to know you on a much deeper level, she's now going to start seeing whether or not you're attractive as a long-term partner. Now, if you're not ticking the boxes in terms of that level of attraction, she's going to pull away. That's when you're going to be left wondering what happened. She's not going to actually spell it out. So you're not going to get any answers or clarity about what's happened when it comes down to those deeper levels of attraction. But what you've got to realise is, if you keep finding yourself in that kind of situation where you're not having any problems attracting girls and getting numbers and getting dates, and then all of a sudden it's coming to an end, well, the chances are you're not ticking the boxes for those like next levels of attraction. So it's important to work on your looks and the way you present yourself. These are very important. You get a lot just from a first impression of someone, but you also need to be paying attention to those next levels of attraction, and you need to start putting the work in on those things. She's going to be evaluating your standard of living, your lifestyle. What are your goals in life? Where are you headed to? So these are all things that you need to look at yourself and be honest about which things you need to improve. Before you even think about meeting girls, you need to really have a good look at yourself and see which boxes you tick and which boxes you don't.